Hiya, how you doing? It's Hinny again, and I am back with a little segment that I missed from the previous video, which was planets in the 11th house. Thank you very much. I think your name was Alberta. Thank you, Alberta, for commenting on that video and actually letting us know that I had missed the moon. Anyway, this is for people who have or are interested in the moon in the 11th house placement in astrology, in your birth chart in natal astrology. And yeah, anyway, I hope you're all safe and well, keeping safe and well with the isolation that most of us are going through. Today is Friday, Freaky Friday, free day. It's the day of Venus. It's the day of Uranus as well. So a bit of rebellion, but also a bit of good relations, a bit of harmony, a bit of the divine Venus. And today it's been raining actually here in the UK. It's been quite nice just to smell the rain, even though I can't really go out that much or be outside much, but it's nice to smell the rain and to see it and to hear it. Yeah, and also since we're on the subject of the moon, it's water. Keeping water, drinking water is so essential, so important, and so relevant to the moon, as I said on the subject of the moon, because we are made up predominantly of water, and much of Gaia or Earth that we're on is also made up of water, and that in turn is actually controlled or affected a lot by the moon, very significantly. But the moon, as we're going to see, is also sometimes this aspect of astrology, or this planet in astrology, that is forgotten, left out, neglected, not too dissimilar to Pluto. But yes, it's not very surprising because the moon deals with so many things. Some of those things are the shadow, the private, the hidden. So anyway, I'm also wearing this t-shirt actually, which is a Native American water protected t-shirt that I got a few years ago now. It says, "I stand with Standing Rock," and I don't know how to pronounce or read this. Mniwikoni, maybe? Or Mniwikoni, I don't know. My apologies. But I remember getting this t-shirt during it was around about the Clinton-Trump election. Today's Friday, today's the day of Uranus activism as well. It's a very Uranian Freaky Friday kind of thing to talk about, to engage with. So yeah, and the moon is to do with memories in the past, and that's kind of where my space is at right now. But anyway, it was around about that time of the Clinton Trump race, and how at that time, I think the main tribe that I was reading about anyway, it was the Sioux tribe, or the water protectors, and there was a lot of activism at that time, especially, or a lot of media coverage on the activism regarding pipelines and demonstrations against pipelines, and the treatment of the protesters, or the treatment of the people during that time. Anyway, at the time it was connected to a lot of the things that I was feeling during that time. Also around about then we had Brexit here in the UK. We had Brexit, and upon the announcement of Brexit here, there was there were these spikes in abuses, basically racist, homophobic abuses spiked, violence spiked, and there were lots of things that happened. But anyway, yes, water as being a very essential thing is also our emotions, it's our feelings, it's how it's what we are attached to. It is how we feel. Water represents the past as well. Water represents the past and roots, staying true to those roots and staying true to things that you feel, staying true to things, people, places that resonate with you somehow. It's so important to remember the water, even though in today's society many of us forget even to drink enough water on the daily. we forget. But anyway, the moon right now is in my 9th. It's in Aquarius right now. It's 28, 29 degrees right now. Very extreme high degree before it moves on from Aquarius into Pisces. And so this is just where I am right now. So in a way, it's kind of good that I missed the moon and I'm talking about the moon today. This is the moon in the 11th house already. So if you have your natal moon in the 11th house, it's kind of similar to having Venus here, which is where I left off in the previous video. I feel there could be lots of attraction and attachment to different groups and initiatives with this placement. The moon, as I said, I touched on a few of these themes just now, but the moon is associated with archetypes of our emotional grotto, if you like. I've called it in our emotional reservoir as well before on this channel, but it's also our vibes, archetypes of vibes and vibrations. It's archetypes of the mother, of needs, of caring, the shadow side, the wild or the wild side, reflection, and also responsibility. And the moon also represents how we react to things and people, where we are private and where things are sort of cozy and comfortable. Also what we need to feel in order to be nourished and safe. The moon represents drawing things in, force that draws in the tide. It also represents themes with which we have a sort of ebb and flow or moodiness. And it also represents where and how we carry a lot of feelings but don't necessarily act on or open up about these feelings. We instead sort of hide them away or neglect them. The moon's power within us is about who and what we are deep down. And perhaps this power is most effective when we need to comfort and heal ourselves, when we need to assess what we need as opposed to just what we want, or when we need to understand why we are reacting to people and things in the way that we do. So if you have this placement, group activities, collective causes, and initiatives are likely to be warm and family-like somehow. Even if the initiative is something quite serious, you are still able to pour lots of emotion into it. You might get attached to these groups. You can't forget groups, even long after leaving them. You participate and show up like clockwork, as if picking up and dropping off your own children at school. You can be the sensitive, intuitive one at parties, events, and meetings. And as I said before, the moon is an archetype of the mother. And so you may well kind of parent other people in the group, similar to someone who has their son in the 11th house. They tend to like father people in the group. That's just my interpretation. But there could sometimes also be a neediness about you that makes it more about the group itself than the progression of the group. Remember, Aquarius, as I mentioned in the last video, Aquarius is the landlord of this house, the water bearer actually. And at the end of the day, progress is the key thing. So if there's no progress there, it can easily, for someone with this placement, just be about the neediness and the attachment to the issue or the group or the friends. And also you can get easily hurt or find it impossible to let something that happened within a group go. If the group isn't listening to you, an emotional outburst is likely, which could involve things like crying or moaning, or like even if you're silent, you can kind of give everyone that luck of thunder. You are this nice one, this sentimental one in the group, but do take care that you don't smother group members or even your friends. This placement could mean that you would be great at getting involved with activism and initiatives that you care deeply about. So make sure your participation is sincere. Otherwise, you will find yourself mired in issues and circles that become actually quite hard for you to escape later. It's probably better to let friends and causes and things like this come to you, so that you remain in a position to calmly and properly assess how comfortable you are with these people, these things, and then you can make rooted decisions instead of venturing out into groups and activism randomly, where you could later get hurt or attract the wrong people, carrying then scars and wounds back home with you. Because again, the moon, the ruler, by the way, the moon rules Cancer, so the moon is associated with hurt and things that we carry with us for a long time, that we can't let go of, even if we want to. It's very hard to let go of. So it's really important, if you're Cancerian or if you have moon in the 11th house, in this case, it's really important that you make sure what you're getting involved with, the group, the initiative, the charity, whatever it is, the WhatsApp group, the Facebook page, whatever it is you're involved with that is more than 2 people, that it is something you actually care about. Because the longer you spend within that group, the harder it's going to be for you to let go. Yes, so take care finally of your emotional health and keep fewer but more intimate circles and causes. And always remember to trust your intuition about these groups, these issues. Alrighty, that's all I wanted to say about this little segment. Thank you again to Alberta for noticing that I missed the moon. Typical that we would miss the moon. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a lovely Friday free day and a good rest of the weekend, even though the week and the weekend, as I said before, is kind of blurring into one for many of us. Anyway, take care, stay safe and well, and drink more water. Love you.